Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tasha, and today we're gonna do a temperature cardigan update for January. So I wanted to give this quick intro because I already have some stuff filmed for this video, but I realized it wasn't a really good intro. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the January update. Bit of a different place today because I'm recording in my house today, not in the car studio. Currently, my daughter is sleeping in the living room next to me, so hopefully I don't wake her up. But today, I wanted to make a video about my temperature cardigan, specifically about the January section of my temperature cardigan. So I'm not quite done with January yet, but I wanted to start here because we combined the first 6 squares, and I'm really excited about it. Like, look at this. I still have to sew in the ends. I'm currently doing that, but I mattress stitched in between, and I think it did pretty good. I think the only thing I'm going to change is I used this color, which is the color I'm going to use for the ribbing and such for the actual cardigan once it's completed. But I think what I'm probably going to do is pick one of the colors, which, I mean, that should have been my first thought, but it wasn't. So I think in the future I'm going to pick a color that is one of the squares. So like I would have picked the green or this teal color to join the 2 squares. But for the first one, I just used this color right here. So in the future we won't do that. But what do we think? I am a little bit nervous because I did size all of this. I made a test square and I measured it and multiplied that measurement by however many squares, because I had to kind of balance between having enough squares so that I can have as many days as possible versus how big it was going to be. So it had to be pretty big because I needed enough rows. So I am a little bit concerned, I'm not gonna lie, on how big this is. Again, I've mentioned this multiple times. I am a larger person myself, and so it may be fine, but this is pretty big. I mean, looking at it from like in front of me, this is gonna be the back. This is the start of the back of the cardigan, but like, this is pretty big. So I'm a little nervous, but we're gonna keep trucking forward and we'll keep moving on. But I wanted to show you this because I'm really excited about it. So if you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, this year I decided, instead of doing the traditional temperature projects, I decided to do something a little bit different, something that I've never seen anybody do. Now, there may be a reason why nobody's done this, so we'll see at the end, but essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking a sunburst granny square, and for each row, it's one day in the average temperature of the location in which I live. So this is so far what it's looking like, and I'll pop up a picture of all of my colors since I don't have that with me. I don't have my little key with me, but I will pop up a picture now of what the temperatures are going to be. Is what this crazy project is, and I am really excited about it so far. Like I said, a little concerned. This might be a little bit oversized for me, even for me. I am a larger person, and so it does take a little bit more yarn to get something that fits me, but we'll find out. But so far I am absolutely loving the way that this is looking. It's coming together pretty seamlessly. I'm actually finding myself wanting more, and I'm actually really excited about that. Now we'll see if I continue to feel this way throughout the year. Typically I am the kind of person that gets very excited about a project at the very beginning, and then I eventually fade off from it. So we'll see if it continues, but I wanted to bring you along with me. We're almost at the end of January, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an update, a January update on the temperature cardigan. There's really honestly not much to show, and really there's only going to be another couple squares after this for January. So it almost makes me feel like I'm not gonna have enough squares, but I will, because I did the math. But hopefully, I mean, I guess if you think about it, if we do this 12 times, you know, this is gonna be, the back is gonna be 6 by 6. So it's gonna be a big old square of this. And then the front, I believe, is going to be a 3 by 6. And then the sleeves are going to be a 4 by 2. So I had to get out my my little thing here. But I wanted to put out there an update because I'm very excited about it, and I don't plan on putting another vlog out for a little bit, and so I really wanted to show you what I had going so far. So there you go. I will come back and I will show you the other squares. Anyway, I am losing my light. The sun is going down, and I bet my daughter is gonna wake up at any point. But what do you think? I'm very, very excited. I'll get back with you in just a few seconds on the rest of January. Okay, so it's a new day. We're still in the same place, which is nice, but I wanted to wrap this up and kind of give you my last thoughts on the January portion of my temperature cardigan. So I know in the last, when we were talking last, I was wondering if this was going to be way too wide, and it is. When I initially planned this, I have a sweater that I laid out, and I crocheted one square, and I kind of eyeballed how many squares it would take to get to the whole back portion of the sweater. Because this is a sweater that I like the way it fits. That's typically how I make cardigans for myself, is I take a sweater I know I like, and I kind of lay out the squares and figure out how big and how many squares I need to do to match the size of that sweater. So that's what I did. And I don't know if I messed up my math or if my eyeballs were playing tricks on me, which definitely happens. Usually I'm pretty good at eyeballing things, but this time I was not. And I don't know if I just added one, but essentially there's one too many squares. So really this is the size that it needs to be, which makes a lot more sense. So I will try to carefully, because I already tied this off, I'm going to carefully cut this square off, and I'm going to put it underneath here. So that's kind of essentially how I'm going to join these, is I'm going to do one row. So this is the first 4 days of the month, and then this is the end of the month. And so I'm going to bring it back over here, and I'm going to continue from there. So I think that's what I've decided, because this is just too wide, and as soon as I put it together I realized that. So that's what we came up with. That's the solution we came up with. Aside from that, now that we've figured that out, I wanted to show you all of my squares in full. So the temperatures ended up being, we were very warm, if you notice. Here is my color key for my temperatures. So, oops, we had it backwards. So we've got Ivory for, just as kind of a recap, Ivory is 29 degrees Fahrenheit and below. Then we've got Arctic Ice, which is 30 degrees to 34 degrees. Then we have Sea Blue, which is 35 to 39 degrees. And then we've got Stonewash, which is 40 to 44. And then we've got Teal Green, which is 45 to 49 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got Spa, which is, I lost my spot, 50 to 59, and etc. Right? So I didn't mention the other ones because those are the only colors that end up in the cardigan. And again, I can put down in the description below the yarn colors if you'd like, if you're interested. I'll have those down below, and the brands that they are. I use I Love This Yarn and Yarn Bee, and so that I just get from Hobby Lobby. So that's essentially, if that gives you an idea. At the very beginning of the year, because this is the beginning of the year, we had warm temperatures. Like Spa is probably the warmest color that we have, and that was 50 to 54 degrees Fahrenheit, which is kind of crazy for the beginning of January. So, but as you can tell, we did get a lot colder. And then in addition to those, we also have these 2 squares. So we did get a full ivory square. Now, if you've been following me along for a while and been seeing my vlogs, you will have known that we got a full ivory square, and then we almost got a full ivory square. We did warm up there for a second, and then it was cold again. So the start of February, which I know this is the January video, not the February video, but we will be getting warmer temperatures. It is a lot warmer out the last couple days. It's February 3rd right now that I'm filming this, and so it is definitely warmer out there. But I am not totally upset with this, because this whole entire last week we've had snow on the ground. We still have a little bit of snow on the ground even now. And so it's kind of nice, because when I see this is also kind of a memory thing for me, because when I see this, it'll remind me that we had a bunch of snow on the ground. So anyway, it was really cold. It was really, really stinking cold. And it will not be the end of the cold temperatures either. I have heard that in the middle of February, we are going to get really cold temperatures again. So I'm really hoping we don't run out of our ivory color, because this is all we have left of it. That's a decent amount. That'll get me through a few more squares, but hopefully we don't totally run out, because this I just added. I apologize if you've heard that a billion times before, but this color I added after the fact. My 30 to 34 degree temperature was the coldest temperature I had initially, and I had to add that because I realized it was going to get too cold. So hopefully we don't run out of this. This was just a color I found in my stash, and I don't have any more of it. Now it is I Love This Yarn alongside all the other I Love This Yarn that I'm already using, and so I probably could find it, but ideally I would like to not do that. So anyway, there's the update in January on what it's looking like so far, and I totally love it. I love the way it's looking, and now that I've fixed it, my biggest fear in this project is I get halfway through it and realize it's either too big or too small. Too small I could probably work with. I could probably add stuff to the sides to make it wider, but too big would be a problem. And so I'm glad that I fixed this problem right off the bat, where all I have to do is just take this square off and add it to the next row. So hopefully we don't come into another snag like that. Like I said in my very first video, when I was picking out all the colors and kind of initially telling you, I was planning on winging it, and my plan was not going to be totally solid. So it's looking like we're going to have to add an extra row at the bottom, and this may just be a longer cardigan, which is totally fine with me. I don't mind. I don't own a large, long cardigan like that, and so I'm actually excited. It's gonna be more like a coat, I think. But anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you think of this. And if I haven't asked already, feel free to subscribe. I do weekly updates on my shorts on this channel, and so if you're curious to know the exact temperatures that these are, feel free to subscribe to me. I do those weekly updates. And yeah, this is essentially what we're looking like. I haven't blocked these ones yet. I haven't sewn in the ends. I am currently using my only blocking station for another project, so I will be blocking these eventually. But as of right now, we're good. I'm not in any sort of rush to do that, because we've got all year to finish this project. So you'll have to let me know what you think of January's section of my temperature cardigan. Let me know if you think this is gonna work, or if you're worried. I'm a little bit worried that there is a reason why nobody's done this before, but I had to try it, and I wanted to do something different than the typical temperature blanket, although I do love temperature blankets. And you could very easily adapt this to a blanket as well, but I wanted something wearable, so I hope this works. So come along with me if you want to watch this and see if it either works or if I crash and burn at the end of the year. Who knows? But thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I am hoping that the rest of the months in 2026 will go really good, as smoothly as this did. I am really excited about this project, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.